right, we keep having these interruptions. Um, we keep having these interruptions. Wow. We're gonna roll on anyway. So if you didn't already start with us on the first live, then you could go back to the live stream before this one. Click on our YouTube channel, click videos, then the tab that says live, and it will be the video before this one. Same thumbnail because I just had to start the live stream again. So basically, we were talking about being carbon based, right? Six protons, six neutrons, six electrons, and that the X marks the spot over Carbondale. Um, and I was playing a video for you all by the Conscious One, and he was speaking about Egypt and the Exodus. This X being marked over the map, the path of totality of these two eclipses, right? And it creating an X on the map. Now let me pull it up for you. Where is it? Let me pull it up for you. Okay, so we have this X here, right? And it's, oops, yeah. What am I doing with my? Just a second. I'll try to move this and spread this one more for y'all, which I might just go into the full screen if that doesn't work. So we have this X here, as the Conscious One was stating, before it was interrupted. And let me just kind of keep an eye on the stream to make sure that it's still live and that we have a connection. Okay, so let's go back and I'm gonna play the beginning of his video again, just so y'all can hear what he was saying before the live stream was interrupted.
How X marks the spot. And I just, like I said, guys, I've been home almost a whole week straight, something I haven't done in, God, I don't even know, maybe 3-4 years. I don't know. But, interesting thing about this 2024 eclipse and how it X marks the spot is X marks the spot is Carbondale, Illinois. Now, this path of totality, where X marks the spot, is also significant because I forget how many miles, the lady's probably going to talk about in this video, how many miles it is above the pyramid in Tennessee. So this intersection has everything to do with Egypt and possibly us being able to be, Exodus out of Egypt. That's what I'm really hoping for. Okay, that's what I'm really hoping for. Also, the tornado that happened. I don't know if y'all remember that tornado that happened about a month or two ago.
Okay, so let's pause this right here because I'm going to show you something. And I'm so happy that other people are also covering this information. They're giving their perspectives, their point of views. We have some Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters that have been covering this, and it's a Hebrew Israelite sister who actually is giving the information that the Conscious One is playing in this video here. I believe it's her video that he's sharing, and then I'm sharing his video, so you can see how we're passing it around. Now, we are not Hebrew Israelites. We're actually not religious at all. We're spiritual. But what I do want to say is, and we're going to be talking about this in a little bit when we talk about In Sabah Nur, who is the villain, right, in X-Men Apocalypse. Just about how he said he's called by many names, and or that he's known by many names. And when you hear the names that he speaks, then you can see how there's truth spread out, right? But we see it all from our perspective, is what I want to say. You can see how um, all of our perspectives and writing from our perspectives create religions, create division, create separation, where we are writing it as we know it to be, and then there's arguing, there's bickering. But you, like, if you just look at thought and how the different names that thought goes by, then it's just a perfect example of how it can be written, and you can think that one being is a separate being or different and has different rules and different, and then different religions are created and stem from that. And the point of me excuse me, the point of me saying this is that when you look at the root of it all and you realize that it is a bunch of information gathered by a bunch of individuals, then you realize that if you chew the meat and you spit out the bones, you're going to get what's in there for you. You're going to get to the truth at that point and realize that, hey, this affects us on a grand scale. This information was just gathered by separate people, like the game of telephone, but not even so much as the game of telephone here. We're just talking about gathering it in a different time, in a different place, from their perspective. So realizing that at the base, really, to just break it down, that there is only one truth in a sense, and that there is only one true divine, that's for sure, that we all and everything flows from and comes from. Okay, so now when the conscious one speaks of X marks the spot, did you have something you wanted me to show right now, babe? Okay. When the conscious one speaks of X, and you know what? Let me back up. I apologize because I did not give an introduction to this video. I did one in the first part. But welcome to Copper Color Connection, where we focus on connecting the copper color people of the Americas. And we welcome you here to our community, where we are promoting love first, peace, unity, and the ability to thrive and be successful as a people, with instilling love, pride, understanding, empathy, and really focusing on healing, but most importantly, remembering who we are, right? As the Niji, as the Choctaw, as the Creek, as the Blackfoot, all of those of us who have forgotten who we are here to remember, right? Which is to call back and regroup the members of our community. So I am Mahania Shanette, because I forgot to mention that, and
I am Maurice.
I can't with you.
Filling in.
All right. So, yes, we were talking about this X, and the conscious one says he was hoping that it means an exodus, and I'm going to share my perspective. All right, it's just my thoughts on it. And that's the wonderful thing, is that we all are looking at this thing from a different perspective, and we're now going to shed our lights on the situation. No pun intended. No pun intended. Shed our light on the situation. So, we look at this X, and what this X made me think of a lot of things. It made me think of X-Men. It made me think of a Xing out, a canceling. It made me think of the pharaohs, right? The Kemetic pharaohs. And here we have a picture of Tutankhamun. And so you see here, right? King Tut, most properly known, right? But his name is Tutankhamun, and he's holding here a crook and a flail. And what do they make? An axe. You make an X here.
You know what's so weird also?
What's that?
As I'm going through the Egyptian Book of the Dead,
Uh-huh.
I'm seeing a lot of the crosses, like King Tut has. So I see it with Osiris,
Mm-hmm.
who has the. Is that the same?
Yes, they all did. The crook
The crook.
and the flail.
But see, his crook, it's the same thing.
Yes.
Okay, it kind of looked like a serpent.
Because he has a staff in between there as well.
So as I'm going through though the Egyptian Book of the Dead once again, I'm noticing a lot of the crosses. I mean X, excuse me, not crosses. Excuse me.
But no, you're absolutely right, babe, because they're crossing their arms to make this mudra, right? Or this, to have this stance.
Whatever it may be. And
Right.
even if you go through some of the engravements that they have or had in the walls, you'll see the same thing. So, my thing is, and this is my thoughts, what does it mean? Does X mark the spot? Is X, a resemblance of something? I mean, is it a mudra? I mean, it could be a whole lot of different things. We don't know until we dig in and
Deep
find
dive. Yep.
deep dive, and find the answers. So, once again, I'm in the Egyptian Book of the Dead, and I'm looking right now to see what I can find as far as these X's go.
You're still not in this. Yeah, scoot over here.
Okay.
Let me scoot over something.
Okay.
Okay.
Let
So,
me show you this.
me or on there? Or you want to show the
Oh, you
camera
can-
the screen?
Here, you gotta do it. That
Okay, so we have a huge book.
The Egyptian Book of the Dead.
Okay. And so here is the
That's another photo.
picture that Maurice was speaking of. And this is Osiris, correct?
I believe so.
Yeah, Osiris. And he has his crook and his flail and also a staff. Here you go, man. Okay, so what are we... Okay, so let's go back to share the screen. Okay, so we're going to leave that there. And let's go back to the conscious one. Or wait, let me show you a little bit here. Southern Illinois has been referred to as Little Egypt. Let me try to blow this up. This nickname may be the result of the practices of early settlers from North Illinois who traveled to Southern Illinois to buy grain after a series of bad winters and droughts. These wagons between... Let's shrink it a little bit. My bad. Okay. Others have noted the similarity in shape between the mounds of the Native Americans who once lived throughout this area and the ancient pyramids of Egypt. Additionally, one notices the existence of many Egyptian names such as Carmi, Cairo, Thebes, Karnak, Goshen, and Dongola. Why can I see well? The falcon as their mascot. The falcon. Why is that significant? Because Heru, right, is also depicted as the falcon. And not just depicted, but was able to take shape and shapeshift into the falcon. So that's why the significance is there. Even though they don't mention that here, or did they? On the magic Isis throne. When he died, he became Osiris, god of the underworld, and his heir became Horus. What? Okay, they got some stuff going on here. But anyways, so we have that, and then we also have... Is this Tennessee? Because that's another thing which I'll let the conscious one continue to play. But he's speaking about things, the different genetic makeup than others, right, than humans, carbon-based beings, Carbondale, X marks the spot. And it's over a pyramid which is in Tennessee. So he's gonna give that information. I'm gonna let that play a little bit
several
more.
miles was the same totality as the 2024 eclipse that's coming. So something's going. Thing is, the so-called Antichrist is actually the Christ. To some people, the Antichrist is actually the Christ. Okay, we know this 666 really has nothing to do with, the devil, some made-up boogeyman. This stuff has to do with some serious science. Okay.
Right, with our
because
genetic
carbon
makeup.
is 666.
That's right.
Has nothing to do with no boogeyman.
And we are carbon-based beings.
So this X marks the spot is happening in Carbondale, Illinois, which is also called, guess what? Little Egypt. How strange is that? Think that can be a coincidence? I don't think so. I don't think so, y'all. Can't have no coincidence like that. X marks the spot, Carbondale, Illinois, 666, right above the pyramid in Tennessee, and in a town called Little Egypt.
Now, I'm going to pause it because we could look at this as, like the Simpsons predictive programming. I actually saw someone commented and they asked about the Simpsons. And they said, well, when we watch it and we accept that it can happen, but what if we reject that it can happen? Now, this is Onward. I talked to y'all about this over on Manifest with Mo. This is the opening scene. So there are things that we see and we believe, oh, that could happen, right? Like with Kobe Bryant and
and how they had it programmed, and they had everything laid out. But the person,
we're frozen.
The person saw exactly what was going on, basically debunked it, did the numerology, and he stepped out. And so now it's no longer predictive programming. It's no longer.
Just a second, y'all, because it's freezing.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's moving again. Did the numerology, and
is it playing there? Can you hear it?
And so now.
Oh, so it is playing there instead of in my headphones.
It's no longer.
Just a second, y'all, because it's freezing. See how I cut you out?
Well, I moved.
No, but it cut off what you were saying. Okay. So I'm going to let this, I'm going to try